And that takes me to the art and science of basketball. Because what I'm finding is that there is a huge disconnect between the people playing the game and the people watching the game. And then even with the people who talk about the game. And it takes me to a place of, well, what should the game look like? Because you have great players like a Russell Westbrook, a prime Derrick Rose, a, 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 a John Wall type, even a Brad Beal. These are highly skilled basketball players, are supreme athletes, but they get reduced because we're now looking at winning the game, right? We're looking at winning the game and what's the best way to win. And sometimes the best way to win is not the best showcase of talent. Sometimes the best way to win is not the best TV show for the viewers. I think the NFL has done a great job of understanding that they are a TV show, and they do what they can to keep the integrity of the game there, while also having a great television viewing product. The game has become more offensive because we like to see deep passes and big plays as opposed to defensive struggles. And where in the NBA, we have more 3-point shooting because the numbers say that more threes equal more points and more efficient offense, but it's a bad TV product. And then if you are a mid-range shooter, it's like, why would you take that mid-range shot? That's a hard shot. That's a hard shot for 2 points when you should go for a layup for those 2 points, or a dunk for those 2 points, or a free throw. Or if you're going to take a harder shot, at least have a higher reward. And I just don't know where we go with this. Because again, as the fan, I want to watch a beautiful game. But as the player, it's not the player's job to entertain us, the fans, right? It's their job to be the best basketball player that they can be. It's the organization's job, and I'm speaking from the basketball side of it. It is their job to create a winning place, a winning culture, to get winning players on their team. And if we're entertained by it, then that's a byproduct, right? But then you go, well, our fan dollars is what it fuels this league and makes the sponsorship deals so lucrative, which makes the shoe companies want to be involved, which makes the TV contracts what they are, and the revenue, right? We generate the revenue as the fans, because at the end of the day, if you want to play basketball, you can play basketball anywhere. But the NBA provides the best of the best, and it puts them together with the best coaching, with the best facilities, with the best shoes, with the best doctors, with the best trainers, and all of that stuff, right? You get the best basketball. But I think that as fans, we think that the players owe us something because we root for them, we support the team, and it's like, no, man. We are entertained by what they give. And if you don't like what you're viewing, don't watch. Don't entertain it. And if you don't follow it, then guess what? The revenue decreases. And if the revenue decreases, they make less money. And so what they have to do is adjust what they want to do, adjust what they're doing to keep the money where it's at. But I just think it's a crazy, interesting dynamic because we're looking for different things, right? The player itself, the coach himself, they have separate goals, even sometimes of what the front office has. If you have a tanking front office, you don't have tanking players because they got to put that film out there. They want to get deals. They want to get their numbers. They want to get their stats because they want to get their money. But then you have the fanatic, the fan who watches the game, who's rooting for their team to win. But guess what? Maybe your team is not trying to win. And then you have media pundits going like, why is this team trying to win? That is crazy. They will get a better draft pick if they don't. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. What did Hermat would say? You play to win the game. At its root, sports is competition. It's mano y mano. It's Me versus you, us versus them. And yes, the money changes it a little bit. It changes it a lot. The TV contracts make it a TV product. Sometimes you want better players to replace the ones that you got, but you're stuck with who you have until you can get better. But that still doesn't mean that you don't play to win the game. And for me, as a fan, it's not about how I feel about it. It's not about what I like. It's about what works best for winning from a team concept, right? But then the player is, how do I maximize who I am along with winning? And if you ask Russell Westbrook, I'm sure he believes that the way he plays puts his team in the best situation to win. Now, somebody like me will say, I'd rather have someone else who plays a different style of basketball on my team so that we can win more games. But you can't tell that man that his effort, that his skill, his talent isn't good enough. Take Carmelo Anthony, for instance, right? Melo set out for a long time. Why? Oh, well, he doesn't fit into the way we want to play winning basketball. He can't, he's not a 3-point shooter, he's a mid-range shooter, and he's a ball stopper. And you go, but he's good at basketball. He's like better than a lot of these people on your team right now. Why would you not bring that in and play him in a way that helps him be the best player that he can be for your team? I think there's a lot of egos, man, and I think I've talked about this on here where Chris Long talked about on the podcast with Ryan Russillo. A lot of coaches can't coach, and we get into this thing of, well, you're going to win the way that I coach you to win, or we're going to lose. Instead of, we're going to adjust our team to the personnel that we have, and we're going to adjust our scheme to the players, right? Now, don't get me wrong, we're still going to want our players to do some of the things that we do fundamentally here. But I think you can't be caught up onto the how it gets done and just focus on it getting done. It's not about who came up with the winning idea or the winning game plan. It's about the winning game plan being created, right? And that goes into the art and science of the game because there are so many competing interests when you're looking at a professional sport, of the coach proving that what he's doing is right, the GM proving that what he's doing is right, the player proving that he is capable or more than capable, and what he's doing is the right way to play. But I just think that all of that gets lost, and when we discuss this stuff, we don't even go into the nuances of it because we just we get fixed on what we like. We get fixed on our biases and our ways of thinking that we do things, or the people that we trust and we believe in. Like, we talk about Greg Popovich being a great coach, but guess what? Greg Popovich is not a great coach without great players. He doesn't win 5 championships without great players. And then you look at the owners. The owner has a totally different set of goals than the rest of the team, because the owner is over here trying to run a business and they're only thinking about their bottom line.